Yo, what's good? Today on Tariq's Corner, or Chef Suavecito, we're making stuffed lobster. Now, you're going to need a whole lobster, quarter pound of shrimp, quarter pound of scallops, about a quarter pound to a half pound of crab, one whole onion, one whole minced garlic, and some chopped up cilantro. So to begin, you're going to put about 3/4 of a tablespoon of butter into any type of saucepan. I'm using this skillet. Melt it down. You don't want your flame too high. I got my flame way too high. And right now we're just gonna add the onions and garlic in. Just let that wilt down a little bit. Now we are gonna use this to stuff into the lobster, so you don't want to actually fully cook the shrimp or the scallops. You just, like I said, you're just wilting this down right now. Next, you want to add in the shrimp and the scallops. These are the scallops going in right now. And then the shrimp. These are 10 to 20 count scallops that I just cut into 3 different slices and then cut those slices into 4 slices. And then the shrimp were cut into little sections, like pretty much each little ring of the shrimp, you just make an incision. Now, like I said, you're just wilting this stuff down with the onions and the garlic, so that it culminates together and all makes a beautiful stuffing. That's not all that goes in the stuffing. We can turn the heat off of the flame because the pan is still going to be warm. Really hot, actually. Now you want to add in the crab meat because the crab meat is already cooked. You want to boil the crab before you actually boil the crab and deshell the crab before you start this process of putting everything in the pan and mixing it together. Now I'm using a knife. You can actually use a spatula or a little spoon if you want to. Use a little spoon. Actually, I'm going to turn this heat back on just for a couple seconds, just to heat the crab up to the same temperature as everything else in the pan. And like I said, we're not fully cooking the shrimp or the scallops. The crab was already cooked, so now you want to turn the skillet back off because you hear that sizzle, so you hear the heat coming to the meat. Next, you want to throw in the cilantro on top. This is more so a little green garnish, so you can use parsley, cilantro, oregano if you like that flavor. I recommend parsley or cilantro. Really cilantro to make the seafood kick. Now you want to clean up as you go along. This doesn't take that much. Now stir in the cilantro into your little mixture. I wish you could smell this. You smell the seed, pretty much. That's all you really smell. Now, to finish this off, you would say, to finish it off? Yeah, to finish this off, some Ritz. Ritz crackers. I know y'all gonna say Ritz, oh that's ghetto. Nah, it's a great binding agent. Allows you to have a good crunch once it's actually cooked down and like broiled, because we're actually putting in the broiler tonight instead of like grilling it or putting it in the oven. I had seen this recipe online a few weeks ago and decided that I was gonna make it myself. So I used about 10 Ritz crackers. I might add more depending on how it looks after I'm finished mixing it up, because you want to actually get a good little burnt crust to your stuffing, because we're just gonna put the stuffing inside the cavity of the lobster. You'll see in a second. So you see, I'm gonna need to add some more. Pretty much, you know what? I'm gonna just use this whole container of Ritz. But you want to leave a little bit of chunks in there. And you'll see why in a few minutes, once I actually get to cracking the lobster. Now, for all of those Humane Society people that are about to see this and get mad because I'm about to actually kill the live lobster while I'm making this dish, well, you guys are killing plants. Plants are living organisms that you guys decide to kill when you pull it out of the ground. You might need a bigger pan. As you can see, I'm spilling out. But you see how thick this is now. All because of the Ritz. Now it's time to go over to the sink where we have our main course, which is this lobster butt daddy right here. You can almost assume that every lobster is a male, because unless it's like a barren female, because they only cultivate males or barren females. If they find a lobster with eggs or anything on it, they just throw it back. Now, the quickest way to kill a lobster is one slice directly to its brain, and then you go right straight back. So, go in and down through the front, and now you bring it all the way down through the bottom of the tail. Those of the faint of heart should not do this, because he will be twitching until his body actually like stops, pretty much. Sometimes you gotta crack it a little bit more, because you didn't go straight through on the first rip. And these are the insides. Now, you just go over to your sink with cold water, rinse it out while you use your fingers to get everything out. On the next shot, it'll be a closer still of the other half. So like I said, you just run water. This is the liver and the stomach and the intestines. You just run the water straight down and it comes right off. Sometimes with the lining, just like with shrimp, you have to take the vein out. One final rinsing of both. You can actually take this off, because that's just the membrane. Membrane in the eyes. are still going to be on the outside if you don't take them off. That's the liver. Just making sure that everything's clean, because most people eat the inside, but just in case you don't, I'm making it for those that don't. Now you got 2 perfectly clean halves of lobster. Next step, tray them up. After you tray them, this is a good time for you to crack the claws. Actually, since this is a smaller one, you really don't have to, because this is only 1.5 pounds. Anything over 3 pounds, you're going to have to crack the claw in order to cook it, so that you make sure it cooks all the way around perfectly. So now, what we're going to do is grab that delicious stuffing we just made. It's hot. And just stuff it in. But you don't want to stuff it too much, because then it won't cook the meat all the way through while you're browning the stuffing. Now, of course, you're going to have enough for another lobster, maybe even 2. So that'll be 3 lobsters total. You could fill 3 lobsters with 1/4 pound of shrimp, 1/4 pound of scallops, about 1/4 pound or 1/2 pound of crab, and 1 lobster. 1 lobster is anywhere between $10 and $15 at your local supermarket, or anywhere that sells seafood. I don't know how much they sell it. But now you're gonna put some butter on it. And then put it into the broiler for about 45 minutes to an hour. And then it'll come out golden brown, fully cooked, and totally delicious. We'll come back and show you the finished product.